We're gonna go live.
Berries and cream.
You guys ready?
I'm scared.
I'm scared. Dude, I can't find the show. Okay, I give up.
Oh my God! Hello, hello, everybody.
You're gonna have to wait.
Welcome.
That
Where's my
picture of
brain?
me, that was scary.
That was our Halloween little thing for you. How's everyone doing tonight? Welcome. Bree, why don't you intro us? Should we everybody duck down?
Oh, yeah.
And turn in,
We
Bree?
do that?
Yeah, should we?
There's
I'll
a
give it-
lot
We do
happening.
like a rise from the grave thing.
Yeah. Everybody,
Wait,
I'll give you a
wait,
3, 2, 1. Okay, ready? Everyone hide. Ready?
Oh.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome to another episode of Bobby's Cryptid Corner. And friends, happy Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween. We have Bree, we have me, we have Bobby, we have Jess, we have Mike, we have Kevin. Hello, everybody. How's everyone doing?
Excellent.
Oh, I can come up now?
Oh, you
Whoa.
can come up now. Yeah.
I was wondering what was going on.
I didn't get the cue. Sorry.
He was down there. He was hanging out. How's everyone doing for this Halloween?
I'm doing good. I just had a Halloween lunch, so I'm
How
like
fun.
relaxed now.
Ooh,
Your hair is so
exciting.
cute.
Oh, thank you. I'm wanting to get rid of the bangs. Or a pain.
Leave
to
it.
keep, but-
Leave it. They're
They
so
are.
cute. They're so
Okay,
cute.
leave it. Thank you.
What,
Should
should I
Leave
go
it.
for bangs? What do you think? Bangs?
Yes.
I like bangs.
Everyone should just get
Mhm.
bangs. It should just be
I-
like the fall of bangs.
Everybody.
Kevin, you should get bangs and then perm them. Just the bangs. Little curl.
Just little.
Ringlet.
Yeah, exactly.
80s style, man. Just get it all up, just in the front.
Exactly.
Little-
Okay, everyone. So it's Halloween. So does anyone have any spooky stories to tell before we get into yelling about cryptids? Does anyone have any spookiness happen to them in their life recently?
Recently,
Yeah. In the spooky season? I always feel
my
like
only scary thing was that toothbrush story. By the way,
So
I
can
decided
I-
to buy a new toothbrush because I was over it.
oh, really? So that's an update. You were like, I'm tired of it.
I'm
Did it
like, I'm
vibrate
not.
again?
No,
Oh.
but it was just a haunting thought. So I just threw the toothbrush away and bought another one.
What about you, Bobby?
Can I ruin my green UFO thing?
Yeah. Do you not think you saw a UFO anymore?
Well, my friend told me that he heard the show or whatever.
Okay.
And he's like, yeah, if you Google it, it autofills automatically our shooting stars green.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently it means there's a like burning copper creates a green glow.
Oh, shit.
But I don't, that's just, I'm going to go with UFO. I'm going to keep it.
Yeah, just
I'm
say
keeping
alleged
it.
shooting star.
Alleged shooting star.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
Yeah.
know what? It's okay. Your experience was valid, and both sides can
Thank
be
you for
explained.
Fueling
So
my delusions.
it's okay. Yeah, no. It's not delusions. It's your life. It's fine. It's fine.
All right. That makes me feel a lot better.
That's just
Good.
the name of the
And
game.
we have to be honest out here. We're not going to hide behind the crystals from China that summon UFOs. We have to be open to the possibility of it being shooting stars.
Would have been a red shooting star.
What does red mean? Is red a different thing burning?
No, never mind.
I'm lost.
Spooky stories.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I like pie. Pie's good.
Mike, anything
really
spooky
fun.
happen to you lately? I feel like you always have like spooky things happening to you since you're always looking into it.
Actually, no. Ironically, nothing lately. I actually, in preparation for the show, smudged my apartment because there's usually some odd things going on around here, just in case. But yeah, actually, it's been relatively quiet around here lately.
Dang. Okay, what about you, Kevin? Anything spooky happening to you lately?
Yeah, I thought I saw a UFO, but then it was Venus. So
Was
I guess
Venus?
that's not spooky.
Hell
Yeah, I
yeah.
was really devastated.
That's super
That's-
disappointing. You're like, yes, a UFO. Then you're like, oh wait, no.
I know I went out, took pictures and everything. We'll let down.
God, didn't decide. But what about you, Jess? Anything spooky for the season?
I keep hoping that something's going to happen and nothing happens. But, I also sage kind of regularly. So I feel
Mm.
like, I haven't had anything happen recently.
You know what?
Yeah.
What an interesting Halloween that all of us have a very boring, no scary, spooky things have happened to us recently. Maybe
It'll
it
happen
maybe it's 'cause-
tonight.
maybe tonight or tomorrow. It is. It's All Hallows Eve today, so you don't know
Sam
what's going to
Hain.
happen.
Sorry, Samhain. Oh,
Samhain.
It's so funny. I was drunk last night yelling to my family about what Samhain was, and they kept being like, nobody asked. Nobody asked. So I'm like, you guys don't want to learn about the true story of Halloween, like what it is?
They're like, no, we don't give a shit.
They kept saying, nobody asked.
there's no
And
candy.
I'm like, well, I'm just going to call Jamie when I go home. That's what I said.
Perfect. And exactly, we're here. Talk about Halloween all we want. Okay, I'm gonna look at what the chat says while you guys talk. Hold on, I'm gonna see what's going on.
Bree, what is
Yeah.
it? Like, what does that mean? I'm out of the
I'm
loop
gonna
here.
check. So
Samhain is where the actual tradition of Halloween comes from. It's a pagan holiday. And
Oh,
it
right
was the it's the marking of the harvest. So it's very symbolic, the thought of kind of the veil being thin and entering death, because this is a time where crops were really flourishing, and then now with changing of the season, everything is going to die. But it's just the cycle. So it's like they're comparing nature. Of course, pagans, everything had to do with nature. So it's seeing how our lives are also the same as nature. So they're celebrating that way. And they used to do all kinds of cool things.
Used to carve turnips.
Oh,
Whoa,
I
Cool.
love those.
that would save money.
Well, there was no pumpkins at the time. They had turnips. That's what they did.
Oh, we need that. We need to bring that back.
And quite honestly, they were a
Turnip
lot more
carving.
terrifying looking because they were like these weird, small little like head things. It was awful.
so when did candy start?
Candy started later, actually. And it first started off as these little pies. They were, weren't they turnip pies?
They were
It
turnip
sounded-
pies,
It sounded
yeah.
really
So
gross.
crispy.
And then
Mhm,
there was
mhm.
like chunks of different fruits in it. So they used to give pies. Hi,
Hi, Amy.
Guys, how's it
Oh, that
going?
was secure.
Welcome, welcome.
Thanks for letting me come.
Of course. We're just talking about Halloween and
Oh
how
my
weird it
gosh.
is that turnips were so involved.
They're so
pies.
involved in the early days. We should have a
Mhm.
turnip party, guys.
Quite honestly,
Oh,
when we did our very first episode about Halloween, we used to like make these clip arts for our episode, and the episode has a bunch of carved turnip faces that we made, and that was like the cover art because it was like that's what the tradition
What
was back
it was, yeah.
Turnips
Yeah.
are really hard to eat.
I'm gonna look up some turnip carving
Never had
real
one.
quick.
That would be
Mm.
cool. We should bring it back.
You should.
Although
Yeah, bring
pumpkins
it
don't
back.
really have a place.
You know, there's some like hardcore Halloween purist guy out there that's like really into like he will not sell out to Big Pumpkin
Big pumpkin.
and will is like turn up till he's
Turn up
dead
for
on
what?
Halloween. Yeah,
Turnip
Turn up for what?
turn up for what?
I mean,
Probably call
I
him
feel
Turnip
like
Tommy.
it sounds more fun.
Not
I'd
honestly, it
rather
does.
do
Yeah.
traditional Samhain, I think, than modern day Halloween.
Absolutely. Amy, have you had anything spooky happen to you this Halloween season, or are you having a dry, spooky season? She can't hear me.
Amy.
Wait, a
Amy.
dry season?
Yeah, like everyone here, nothing spooky has happened to us this Halloween. Like, has anything spooky happened to you like
It's
this
I ain't
season?
try.
My crops are
Has
dying.
anything spooky happened to me this season? Not yet.
See, yeah,
No,
we're all
not
having a
yet,
dry
not
spell.
yet. But I'm gonna go watch like horror movies tonight, like a lot of really
Yes.
bad horror
Nice.
movies. Like, yeah, so like the gory, really bad ones. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna scare myself tonight.
Do you guys have any like Halloween traditions that you do? Like, I know me and Bree, we always watch like the same movies. We watch like Hocus Pocus, like Halloween
too.
Town, like Nightmare Before Christmas. Do you guys have like traditions like that you guys do too?
Oh yeah, we do Hocus Pocus and we
Nice.
do Nightmare Before Christmas, and yeah, it's like the best ever. And Jack Skellington sometimes comes to the house and drops off extra presents.
Ooh,
Yeah,
Cool.
yeah,
So cool.
always.
that's a whole
Oh my
vibe.
god.
Always.
If I was a kid, I would be so obsessed.
I know, me
Yeah.
too.
That's awesome. I love that you do that.
I know, me
Yeah.
too. What about
I always
anyone
have to
else?
watch all the
Oh,
Halloweens.
what about anyone else in the chat? Do you guys have traditions that you guys do on Halloween every year?
I just like to like start watching like creepy movies, and like I love to watch like I love to watch like YouTube channels with like those little like clips of like people
Like horror.
Yeah, exactly. So
like
I
this
do a lot of-
top 10 spookiest clips of that'll scare your pants off.
yeah, real life, whatever this is. And I love those. Like I'll watch them till they scare. I couldn't go to the kitchen the other night. Like when it was dark, I was scared. I was like convinced there was like a shadow man, and there wasn't.
Seriously? That's lovely.
That's
I watch
great.
this stuff late.
What about you, Kevin? Do you have anything that you do?
Well, I usually have like a bunch of kids, so we usually trick or treat, and that's really it. We
Fun.
walk around until I pass out on the sidewalk, and they drive me back. You know, it's fun.
Absolutely.
Fun for the whole family.
Question: has anyone seen the new Halloween?
Ooh.
No, not yet.
No, not yet.
No, unfortunately, I have not. I watched the old one the other night.
The
old-
Rob
the
Zombie
original
one? Did he do that?
Rob
one?
Zombies aren't the old one, but I thought that the Rob
Okay.
Zombie ones were pretty good. The first and
Rob
second
Zombie's
one.
cool.
I'm a big Halloween fan. Big time. So I always
Mike, what
watch
do you
all
do
the
for
movies.
Halloween?
Me?
Yeah.
Honestly, nothing like Halloweeny. I mean,
Really?
my girls are grown, so like, you know, we don't really trick or treat anymore and stuff like that. But usually I'm either investigating somewhere or something's going on or some kind of event or something.
That's creepy.
I was gonna say at least you have to be investigating or something spooky, right?
I'm investigating.
Yeah, usually. Actually, in a couple weeks, Beth and I are going to be running these ghost walks throughout this whole town and doing mini ghost hunts and stuff like that. That's in a
it.
couple weeks. So,
Awesome.
but as far as Halloween, I mean, well, we do some human sacrifice every once in a while, but that's about it.
Yeah. Of course, yeah. Casually,
Mike,
casually, of course.
We sharpen a turnip and
Mike, you know how I don't know, can you confirm or deny, you know, they say like 3 a.m. is like the witching hour for ghost hunting. Is that something that you can substantiate? Is that something you guys practice?
honestly, we're usually, if we start investigating by 7 or 8, we're usually pretty much done by 3 a.m.
Right, okay.
But I honestly, I don't think there's any specific time where any kind of spirit activity is spikes or anything. I think maybe it depends on the location, but like for myself personally, I found that like Penhurst Asylum, for example, is way more active all day long during the day than it is at night. So
Oh.
yeah, so I think it depends on the place and what's individually going on there energetically.
What do you think the most like memorable experience is for you from ghost hunting, or just any kind of experience, I guess? Like, what's the things that stick out?
I think I think the first time I saw a legitimate apparition was probably one of the biggest ones. Honestly, the one of the most intense experiences I ever had was on the Gettysburg battlefield, around like 9:30 p.m. There was a bunch of us there. We were investigating, and my girlfriend was in the car and actually saw a soldier run across the street in front of our car as we were driving through the battlefield. And she's like, "Stop, stop!" So we pull over, and it happened to be right by this monument, this Irish monument. And so we stopped there, and we're just standing there, and I saw, and 2 to 3 other people out of the 6 or 7 of us that were there all saw straight up legit apparitions, self-illuminated figures. They were obviously human shaped, walking through the trees, and you could tell they were like soldiers. You could see rifles in their hands and stuff like that. And we all watched it, and it was pretty crazy. And like, there's a pretty famous video that I'm sure you can find it on YouTube, where this couple was out on the battlefield at Gettysburg, and they pulled out their old school VHS cam and started taping because they started seeing strange lights in the trees, and they caught some apparitions on camera. And I love that video because that's literally exactly what we saw. I mean, it's just like to a T exactly what we experienced. That was pretty profound.
Damn.
Yeah.
Wow. I don't know these other folks on the call. I'm Bobby, by the way. Are you guys all experiencers of some high strangeness in one way or another?
I am in some ways. I mean, how can we not be? And my name's Amy.
Hey, Amy.
I run a channel called Alien Girl 111.
She does an amazing channel.
I know you
and
from
she's so
Twitter.
beautiful. Yes.
Wait, you.
I'm
I
also
know
addicted to
you.
Twitter.
Aren't we all, in all
An
honesty, at
intense
the end of the day?
Yeah. Yeah. I think
Oh
we're
my
all
God,
on it all the time.
Jane. Hello.
Jane.
What?
I love this costume. It very much reminds me of something glurp, like very glurp like. Same texture.
I like her hair. It looks like a side beard.
I love that.
I can hear you guys now.
Oh, there you are. I can see you.
Love that
Happy
costume.
Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Wait, there's a way to. Okay, never mind. I'll figure it out.
I loved that costume that you had on. It was very glurp like. It was very similar to his skin tone.
And I feel like it kind of fit into like the vampire cryptid theme, right?
Yes, exactly. Speaking of that is what we were talking about. We've been talking about Halloween this whole time. But before we get into it, Jane, I have a question for you.
Okay.
Have you had anything spooky happen to you this spooky season, or are you having a dry spell?
Oh my, that's a good question.
Right? All of us
It
so
is
far
kind of
have
a
been
dry
having,
spell.
we've all been having a dry spell so far.
I think that's fair
the
to
title
say.
of my autobiography.
Heyo.
There's a time for everything, you know. There's a time for spooky and I guess a time for boring. Yeah, I don't feel like anything like I do feel like there have been times in my life where it's just one synchronicity after another synchronicity to where it's like, whoa, the Matrix is real. And then you just have, times like these. But I don't know, maybe now that it's Halloween weekend and we approach Santa coming, right? Maybe things will change.
Maybe it's spooky season now. Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Artemis.
Artemis.
Welcome, my love. Looking gorgeous. How are you today?
Gosh, everybody looks so pretty.
I'm all right. How are you guys?
We are good. We are
I
talking
love
about
everybody's costumes.
we're talking about Halloween. You came at the perfect time. Have you had anything spooky happen to you this spooky season? All of us here are having a little bit of a dry spell, but we have hope because it's Halloween weekend. What about you?
Yeah, it's not too late.
It's not too late, right?
So like I don't know why this week, but I had like such an itch to watch scary movies. So basically every day Josh and I have watched like at least one or two. But we got a little too scared. Wait, what day is it today? Saturday. So Thursday night.
Yeah.
We were watching, I forget which one we were watching that day, but one of the really good ones that I enjoyed actually was Midsommar or Samar.
Midsummer.
I don't know if
I heard that was really good.
Yeah, but that one was so
What's that
good.
one?
So good.
That movie fucked with my head. I was
It-
not
It
okay.
really did.
What's it
And,
I
about?
don't like those kinds.
Creepy.
It's like a cult.
Yeah.
Are there any
basically, like,
kids?
friends go
Are there
to
any kids that
Sweden.
die in it? I can't watch
No.
it.
No.
No,
No,
I
but
know,
like-
right? It's always interesting when you.
I mean,
involve
people die,
kids.
but not kids.
Okay, as long
Yeah,
as
kids
it's
don't
people,
die.
I can even handle
It's-
dogs
it's more
dying.
just
No,
like
I
a
can't handle
as
dogs.
kids.
No.
Kind of
I-
movie.
Very,
I can't handle
very
dogs.
old people.
I mean,
die.
it's not preferable.
Yeah.
It's not preferable
Yeah.
that dogs die.
Yeah, it's more.
Yeah,
just
you
like
see their poor
Agreed.
old faces smack open on
Yeah,
the
oh, it's
bowl.
fucked.
No, thank you.
It's
Yeah,
a
no,
really
thanks.
good movie though, like really well made.
Mhm.
Like, but yeah, so like we had been, like watching them all week, and then, so Thursday night we were like trying to go to bed, and like we both kept feeling like we could see like a shadow or like just like stupid shit like that. It was like most likely just our heads. I don't know, but like in the basement before we even went up to the bedroom, actually, like I felt like I saw like a shadow on the right of me, and while we were like watching something, because after we watched the scary movie, we watched Curb Your Enthusiasm just to kind of like
Balance it out.
Like put on Friends.
We have to end it with like a laugh, but
It's clear.
yeah,
Heck
that
yeah.
night we didn't, and I think that's what was wrong. So yeah, we watched the movie and tried to go right to bed. That was a mistake.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't just go immediately go to
You know,
bed after.
maybe some like comedy after, but yeah, and like
Nightmares.
so I felt like I was like seeing weird shadows, and then when we went up to the bedroom, like Josh kept feeling like he was seeing stuff. Oh, it was weird. And then and we've both had like some kind of like weird paranormal stuff. Him a lot more like intense, I would say, and just more than me, but I've had some weird paranormal stuff. So every once in a while when this like starts happening, I'm like, oh God, like I just start really going down the rabbit hole again about it. And like I've been told that I have like a higher sense of things, like when I did like a Reiki session. So I don't know, whenever I really start getting into that paranormal side and spiritual side, I really feel like I am like unlocking something. So it's kind of,
Yeah.
I kind of get a bit nervous and just like revert back.
No, I totally understand.
But yeah, so I don't know, I guess that, and then we haven't watched a scary movie since Thursday. And now it's Halloween weekend. I'm like, okay,
You gotta start again.
This wrong. Like,
Yeah.
Do like Hocus Pocus or something.
yeah.
Halloween
like,
Town. Yeah, going easy. I see
listen.
Glurp is in the corner over there. Hi,
Oh
Glurp.
yeah, he wants to hear all the scary stories.
I love it so much. Okay, guys, so we're here to talk about cryptids, Halloween, and vampires. And I said something, we have a group chat going on, and I said, I really want to do vampires. And they were like, vampires. And I was like, I think vampires are a cryptid. Why are they not a cryptid? And Bree gave me like the definition. What was your definition of a cryptid, Bree?
A cryptid is technically an animal that has yet to be identified. So a vampire is not an animal.
I get you.
But it has to be an animal?
Yeah, that's what a cryptid is.
Case closed. This is
So
fun,
there are
guys.
other animals that used to belong in the cryptid category until they were discovered, and then
Wait, but what if it is? I guess, is there a case to make that a vampire is
a
an animal?
vampire can transform into a bat or
Exactly.
sometimes a group of rats.
Exactly.
The Gary Oldman Dracula from the
And
90s.
so there's animal aspects to it, but then also on that same line, it's like, okay, so the dog man, right? Half dog, half human. So like, oh, a cryptid's part human. So who are you to say it's only animal?
But it's almost like saying it's like saying like ghosts are cryptids or like, you know
I mean,
what I
yeah,
mean?
our
Like,
A
ghosts-
werewolf would be a cryptid,
Yeah.
though, right? Maybe
Yeah.
I would think
Yeah.
like a
And it
werewolf
morphs into a human.
But that's a human, right? That morphs into a werewolf. So I
We're
would
so
think
cool.
a vampire.
That's what I'm saying. A vampire morphs into
Skinwalker,
a
right?
bat.
And a skinwalker.
Skinwalker, good point.
Skinwalker.
So
Mhm.
who
Well,
are we? Who
are
are we to
vampires
say?
humanoid?
Skinwalker though, but
Mm.
those are shapeshifters. There are so many
Right.
different categories
But
that
if-
we're touching on
Is
here.
a
So are
vampire
vampires, I
not
guess.
a shapeshifter?
You
Exactly.
do a
So-
Venn diagram.
Damn.
It's like you think it's this simple thing, but then the more you dig into it, and you're like, wait a second, the similarities. It's
But-
like, hold on, we have all these.
Okay, but what
questions.
about so
Okay.
it also like
Deny.
like what is the official definition of cryptid, Bree? Do you have it
It
pulled up?
is an animal that is yet to be identified.
Okay.
Animal that's yet to be-
Would you
Could be
consider
Bigfoot.
Humans
would you
are animals.
consider
Yeah.
a vampire to be
Bigfoot
humanoid,
is a
though?
cryptid.
A human? Just
a
asking.
Yeah, like a human.
Wait, say it
humans are
again?
animals.
Is a vampire a human? Would you
Is it?
consider?
I would think more I would think more like
It's like
zombie
a-
like because it's dead.
It's the
It's a
undead.
human with
Well-
like a corrupted soul or
Okay.
I think it's in the same
sorts.
category as a zombie.
But there
It's
are
the
people that will
undead.
claim that like Bigfoot is some sort of like tribe of humans, like some sort of relic tribe of humans. So that would then we get
Like
into the
feral.
weeds with that whole thing because obviously Bigfoot is like the quintessential example of a cryptid,
Cryptid.
right?
Mhm.
So I don't know. I'm just spitballing here. Things to consider.
Amy, what about you? You have any thoughts about this? You've been quiet. What do you think about these vampire
Yeah,
situations?
I mean, I think a vampire. I mean, obviously, it's not a cryptid because that's like not the definition. But vampires are cool, and I think about
Forget my
vampires.
definitions.
It's
Nope.
but it's the real that's the actual category, right?
Yeah.
It has to be animal. And so, Bigfoot, I think Bigfoot's real. Skinwalkers, yeah, there's something going on with the skinwalkers for sure. They're out there. And I think about vampires, and I think they were real like 300 years ago. I think there were humans that drank blood and did sacrifices and identified as vampires, especially. I think and obviously the magic behind it could be very real. Like, I don't know, like it very
Absolutely.
well could exist in terms of you look at like the pagan faith and just other things like that. So that's all I'm thinking about.
I
And
can
we're
check
still
it.
drinking blood.
Vampires.
We got adrenochrome,
Mm,
sacrifices.
we
People
do.
still
There
drinking
are
that shit.
there are vampires. I was looking into it for this episode because I don't really think about it at all, to be honest. And I was like, I don't have anything to bring to the table about vampires. But then I remembered writing an article a few years ago, And I mean, it was based on what other, reporters had done, but there was like a Buffalo, I want to say Buffalo, New Jersey, or no, something like that. Some northeastern city, like community of identified vampires. And then I went like on the forums of like the vampires, and it was kind of like creepy. Well, I mean, for understandable reasons, but actually most of them, I guess, just like, I guess this was just a normal thing, and it's all mutual and consent. They're not biting the necks of, unconsenting victims. But then some claim to be psychic vampires, like getting energy
Like
off
energy.
of victims that way. And they didn't seem to that didn't seem to be always mutual. And there were kind of like warnings from these psychic vampires.
Definitely. I think we always talk about energy vampires.
Have you guys seen the What We Do in the Shadows? They have an energy
Yes,
vampire.
it's such
Colin
a good show.
Robinson, he's the best.
Like the best
Such a
of
good
that
show.
show.
It's such a good show.
The
Okay,
show's better than the movie, I think.
I have a question. I have a question for Mike, because Mike brought up a funny point on Twitter, and he said that like about Men in Black, are they considered cryptids? And he's dressed as one. So Mike, give us your take on this.
Oh, I thought he was doing
Absolutely
Beat It
not.
era. Michael Jackson.
Oh, I got MIB right off the bat. I was like, oh, does this? I thought we were talking to authentic MIB when I saw him on the screen. He
Mike
looks just like
is
an MIB guy.
a real
right now.
MIB.
Yeah.
Just
I know he's like
part-time.
hanging out in the shadows.
It's part-time.
Can't even see you.
Part-time gig.
No, but I was
An ad for it.
I was reading something from, I believe it was Nick Redfern, who drew some parallels between the Men in Black stories and tales of encounters of the Men in Black and encounters with vampires. And there's a lot of parallels there. Like, for example, vampires are known to just like appear suddenly in your room or in your house, and then they do their business and they disappear. Men in Black, same thing. There is these stories of coming in contact with Men in Black and vampires, and there's this energy draining aspect to it. You become intimidated, afraid, befuddled. You can't think straight. They're intimidating, and so there's all these interesting parallels between some characteristics of the Men in Black and vampires. I mean, Men in Black aren't biting anyone necessarily, but if you pull the lens back a little bit, you can see that like there is this energy draining aspect to them. And of course they wear all black. Yeah, it's just some pretty cool parallels there.
I like
Same
that.
with
I
the
like
black-eyed children.
Treadmill for like 5 minutes. I'm like, oh, this thing's a vampire. I'm fresh out of energy.
Exactly.
I love
Yes.
that.
That's why I don't go to the gym. They're all vampires.
Yeah, it's an evil place.
We have somebody in the chat. Akashi Chris wants to know if a chupacabra would be considered a vampire.
Oh,
It's a cryptid for sure.
For sure. It does suck. Like El Chupacabra means the blood sucker.
yeah.
Yeah.
Goat sucker.
Goat
But
sucker, yeah.
I don't think that a
Yeah.
vampire necessarily, I mean, obviously, yeah, they feed off of blood, but I think that there's more that goes into being a vampire than just eating blood.
Like you have
Because
to
then
be
we would
dead.
be like, leeches are vampires.
I mean,
That was my next question.
have they been cursed to be leeches, and that's the dimension we're living in?
Energy leeches.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what
I need
what if on some weird cosmic spell, like witches won and they cursed all the vampires and they're now leeches, and that's how they are in our universe?
Whoa.
Wow. I don't even believe in vampires.
Really? In general, at all, you don't ever believe that they were a real thing?
No.
Leeches?
Does anyone else not believe vampires are real?
I believe in leeches.
Me,
I
like I was
didn't-
saying, I think
never
like
put a lot of
people
thought into
say
it.
that they are.
Like
Yeah.
actual, like what do you mean by vampire? Like
the
living
real
immortal, like living
undead.
forever.
Yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
the undead. Like, do you believe that vampire, like Twilight bullshit? Like, is
Oh,
that?
no.
I haven't
Great
looked into
example.
it enough.
Right?
That's not even a traditional vampire. No, like I sparkle in the sun bullshit. Traditional vampires, they're in the sun and they go poof.
We
I
should
don't
do
like
a
vampires,
FOIA
no.
request on it.
Vampires
I
are
know
a bit
vampires.
racist.
These are
Slayer was
based
my
off of
favorite
real
show.
stuff, though, like Dracula, all those books about
Dracula.
vampires. Because there was
Vlad the
Dracula, wasn't there
Impaler.
a Dracula? He was based off of a real person.
Like a real person?
Vlad
Yeah.
the Impaler was in
Bram
Romania.
Stoker's Dracula
Vlad
is
the
based off of
Impaler.
a real person. I thought back in like
Mhm.
1630
Vlad the
or something like
Impaler.
that.
Which
then
is
you
where
have,
vampires came
yeah.
from,
in
is
that-
really
in that-
just that story.
in that same area, I think she was Hungarian. There was that woman, Marie.
Oh.
God damn it! I knew this. Was gonna come up.
Bathory?
Yes,
Something like
yes.
that?
Yes.
Who used to just like
Elizabeth
bathe in the blood of
Bathory.
younger.
That's right.
Elizabeth
people and-
Bathory, and she used to like
Yeah.
kill all the servants and shit.
Mhm.
Like bathe in their.
And you have similar echoes, like that one lady in New Orleans that American Horror Story season was based on.
And
who I
she did
can't
the
think
same
of her
thing,
name
but
right
to like
now
her
either.
slaves. Exactly.
Oh,
What is her
Yeah,
name? I always want to
lovely
say Maria
things.
Labeau, but it's not.
Yeah.
I think that
Marie
was the
Labeau.
Voodoo Queen.
That's correct.
That's correct. That
Oh, it is
100%.
correct?
Yeah, 100%.
Ding ding
think so.
ding.
Ding, ding,
Point
ding.
for me.
One trivia
Get a
point for
drink.
you.
The theory
But
about
yeah.
like those real life, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
But just real quick, just the theory about those real life vampires is that they just suffer from a form like of anemia that drives the compulsion, and then it turns into a cult. But there could be a historic, like maybe there was a whole group of people that were like especially anemic, or because there's cannibalism, right? Like we know that happens.
Oh, for sure. And it
Yeah,
still
and-
happens to this day.
I think this is one of those things that's like it's all rooted in some sort of historically accurate kind of sum of parts. Like you
Dracula.
have Vlad the Impaler, you have these people that have historically kind of partaken in blood drinking rituals. Then you have like the commoners that will like mythologize these evil entities as, you know, something more supernatural than maybe they actually were. And then eventually we have this like snowball effect of the folklore. And now we have like kids at Hot Topic that like put fangs in their mouth. They're like, I'm a
Exactly.
vampire. I'm like,
I think
yeah,
it's
so it, like,
fetishy.
becomes its own thing.
I mean, that's the
I
same
think
thing
that's
with
where-
that's the same thing with Twilight, though. Did it not turn into some weird fetishy thing?
Yeah, and that killed the vampire.
Absolutely. But they romanticized the situation. They were just gonna like run
Thank you,
around
Mike.
super fast and live happily ever after.
People are always weirded out to find out that I've never watched any of the movies or read any of the books. And I'm like, I don't know. I just wasn't into fucking vampires like that.
Really?
Yeah.
I like how your like immediate first pop culture reference to vampires is Twilight.
When
I've
I've
never
never
seen
seen
it.
it.
like
Well, I've
literally
never
hundreds
seen-
of
yes.
years of this. And it's just like, you know,
Oh,
Robert.
like Interview with the
Oh,
Vampire.
Interview with the
One lady that
Vampire.
can't
I was like,
act.
Interview with the
Interview with the
Vampire was
Remember
a
Interview
great
with the
fucking
Vampire?
movie.
Best. That was
right,
the best.
dude. Those were the best.
I'm gonna watch that tonight. That'll be a good
That's a
one.
good
I should
Halloween
totally rewatch
movie.
it.
Yeah.
I was so obsessed with Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a kid
Oh,
growing up.
that's right,
Obsessed,
Buffy.
obsessed,
That would be my
obsessed,
wife.
obsessed. So vampires, and my mom's always loved vampires too. My mom's always been obsessed with vampires.
Is she really?
That's like
I
her
never knew
thing.
that about your
Mhm.
mom. Oh.
yeah.
Okay.
Actually, she was a big Twilight person too.
Was she?
Read all the books. She dragged me to every single movie premiere when we'd have to sit outside the movie theater like hours before midnight to be let in, kind
Oh
of
my
thing.
That's awesome.
I was like that with the Harry Potter
I was
movies.
obsessed too.
Yes,
Mm.
me too with the Harry Potter.
Yeah.
So
That was like a
good.
Halloweeny thing. I feel like it always came out on Halloween, and like my family, when I was young, would like
Yeah.
go.
I remember watching it once, or maybe it was Lord of the Rings on Christmas Day.
Oh, maybe it was
Yeah,
Christmas.
it's
maybe
either
that's
Halloween
what it
or
was.
Chris.
It was
either, like,
either
Halloween or
Harry Potter or
Christmas are
Lord
the
of the
best
Rings.
movies.
I
Yeah,
forget which
something
one.
that holiday season.
But yeah, always around that time. So
Mhm.
good.
Well, everybody
So-
wants to spend Christmas in the castle at Harry Potter.
I mean, who
basically.
wouldn't?
In Harry Potter, at Harry Potter.
Bree just got back from
That's a movie
Disneyland.
too.
Oh,
I know. I saw the pictures. I was so envious. I wanted to be there with you guys. So I love.
It was fun.
We're Disney geeks. So.
She goes every
Yeah.
Halloween. It's like her family
My
has
family
a
loves
lot
it.
of
that's
Disney.
my dream is to go there for Halloween. That's my dream.
The Oogie Boogie Bash. It's fun. My family, we're
Yeah.
always pirates, like every year.
That's so fun.
We'll
Love
switch up the outfits, but we're always this big family of pirates.
It's the cutest thing.
I feel like that's my dad's
Your
alter
family is
ego. So it's
awesome.
like he has the excuse to wear pirate stuff and black eyeliner, and he just the whole
And
time
when he gets drunk, yeah, he loves it
gets
so
too
much.
drunk and just
And it's-
every
it's-
picture he's like,
And it's his
"Arr."
birthday when he goes, so it's like he's extra celebrating.
that's fun.
Yeah, it is his little excuse to be a child.
I know Breeze after this is going to do pumpkin carving. Are you guys going to do anything tonight in celebration of Halloween? Or are you waiting to celebrate tomorrow?
Halloween's a whole month for
Yeah.
me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
limits.
And then usually that just means like I make it a priority to only watch horror movies for the
Yeah.
entire month, which isn't that different from any other month, to be
Right
honest.
for you.
Yeah, we watched Poltergeist last night, which is a tradition in this house.
Nice.
And I'm not sure what's
Classic.
happening tonight. Maybe Poltergeist too. But I started this thing where I don't have a lot of like decor for the house, and Halloween always creeps up so fast anyway. I wouldn't like find the weekend to like, anyway, but I built this like booth, like this giant table that I made, and like put lights and little bats, and it's like my little trick-or-treat shrine booth thing.
So cute.
And then
Nice.
the people are like, hey, go get candy from that weirdo. And I'm just like, what's up kids? I don't know how to talk to you because I don't have any of you, but here's some candy.
So Bobby hosts a horror podcast called Not For Everyone Podcast. So can you give us some good vampire movie recommendations this Halloween, Bobby, for tonight?
Yeah, of course. That's actually a good. I usually watch like the classic. First is Nosferatu. It's a silent film. It's really good for like.
That's OG.
Well, we're gonna go through the timeline here.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm like,
if you want like
damn,
just
I'm
good
expert.
background,
He's an
spooky silent
Black and
film
white,
stuff.
scary.
If you're having a Halloween party, just put it on your TV. It's
Yeah,
actually a
the
good movie to watch too.
Put it on while you're sleeping.
Yes.
Have some crazy nightmares.
But yeah, my go-to is like 80s stuff. So like Lost Boys and Near Dark, they came out at the same the same year. They're both so good.
All right.
Now I'm blanking beyond that. Now I'm going straight to Twilight. Not sure I recommend that series. Interview with the Vampire. But yeah, I guess my go-to would be Lost Boys / Near Dark, and I'm always having this like internal struggle as to which one I like better, but both highly recommended.
Hell yes. Does anyone else have any movie recommendations? Amy, do you have any that are vampire-y that you're into?
Yes, I love Interview with the Vampire. I think that is just like the best
Yes,
vampire
thank you.
movie ever. I think it's so cool. Yeah, so that one's really good. And for some reason I can't think of any other. And there's Twilight.
I mean, that's what I'm saying. Everyone keeps hating on me calling Twilight.
I have
but
a good
Twilight's
one.
Okay, Brie, what is that?
Fuck, what is it called? But
I
this is
just
not a
even
movie.
know.
This is a series. Actually, there's only four episodes, I want to say,
Is this Vampire
on
Diaries?
Netflix. And it is so good.
Okay, what
is it called? Dracula? Did you never watch
Yeah.
it?
I know what you're
And
talking
it's like
about.
4 episodes.
It's
that
3.
shit was good as fuck.
Yeah, it's a really cool concept because it's all just like Dracula throughout the ages. So the first one's in like I guess more or less like the 1500s or something in like a convent.
And then it
The
like goes
second
to
one all
modern
takes
day.
place in like colonial times, and the third one's in modern day. However, the third one's kind of weird because it's just like that thing where they're like, what would Dracula do with free Wi-Fi? And you're like,
What?
this is so
Exactly.
stupid.
He like lives in a
Like, I hate that
penthouse.
shit so much. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, the first 2 were really good. And I liked the way that they captured the whole vibe of what the undead is, how he literally had his life sucked from him. And it's creepy. It's like, the fly that walks across the eye because he doesn't blink and he looks like he's just like rotting from the inside, just slowly. It's really good. I would say everyone should go watch that.
I like that. What about you, Artemis? You've been watching movies. Any vampire ones you want to recommend? Or just maybe some
haven't-
horror movies in general, because I feel like we're having a hard time calling out fucking vampire movies. Everyone's just like Twilight.
Yeah, for vampire movies, I can't
Twilight
think of
too.
any other than like what's already been kind of mentioned. I mean, other than like TV series was like Vampire Diaries, the originals. There's another
Yeah,
one.
exactly. I feel like there has
I
to be
didn't watch
more.
it, but there was like True Blood.
Oh, True Blood.
True Blood
I
was
even
good.
watched that one.
True Blood,
I didn't watch it because by that time I was like, okay, I think I'm starting to get vampired out because I was really into Twilight.
feel
So
it, I
I
feel
think
it.
I was like, I need to take like a little break. So I never got into it, but I heard it's good. Horror movies though, I want to say, well, I said Midsummer. That was a really, really good one. And that was like creepy and like different. There was another one, The Ritual. No, wait. The Ritual was actually. Wait, wasn't that good? Josh, are you here?
That was on Netflix, I think.
What was
The
that one
Ritual,
with
right?
the 2 couples?
Yeah, Joshy Poo. What was it?
Yeah, he won't go. on
Did you just say
camera.
Joshy Poo, Jamie?
Yeah, I knew because I knew that
Was
would get
it
your
The
attention.
Rental? Oh, The Rental. Okay,
Where's
the
your
You should
rental.
Poo?
tell Josh
was
that you
really
said that.
good.
You can't be.
Don't do that.
you
He'll be
can't
so
doing
mad.
that.
What?
Bree has her
What?
own Josh. I said Joshy Poo, and she goes, "Did you
I
say
know.
Joshy Poo?"
I'm like, did you just say Josh Poo? That's what you called Josh.
I
My
call
husband's
him
name is
Joshy or
Josh.
Joshykins, or I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So
I will say, okay, I will say my
yeah, the
favorite.
rental. No, the rental was really good. So I kind of felt like it was gonna go in one direction with the story, and it went totally different. And I love that. Like when you're kind of wrong about your prediction in a movie, you know. So that was really, really good. Those are gonna be my two from this week.
I like that. I'm gonna go out and tell everyone my favorite scary movie of all time that I've been saying for years and years of my life is The Fourth Kind. It is so fucking creepy. It scared the
Fourth
living
Kind. I
shit
haven't
out of
seen
me.
that in a while.
Are you joking?
No, I've seen it.
Okay,
I've seen it,
okay.
just not for a long
It's
time.
not
Sorry.
scary
Scary.
anymore, Jamie. You should watch it.
No,
You
I've
might
seen
not be
it.
scared
No,
anymore.
I'm not scared of it anymore, but at the time, it
At the
scared
time,
the living
it was
shit
horrible.
out of me, and it was
Yeah.
horrifying and terrible. Now I'm like, I'm cool with it. I can watch it 500 times, but at the time, it made me so fucking uncomfortable to watch it. I didn't sleep for days. It was like way too fucking
I didn't
close
leave
to
my
home.
house when
That
I
is
did
so
eventually
key
leave
Wait, what
my
is this?
house. It
The
was
Fourth
awful.
Kind, the
The
movie
Fourth
I sent
Kind.
you. I've sent you
Fucked
this
Yeah, you
movie.
me
sent
up.
it. I've totally watched it since you sent it to me.
You have
Fucked
not.
me up.
Does anyone else have any movies that are like super visceral to them that just like
Well,
literally
you
scare
know,
the
that's
shit out of them?
so when you say like at the time, I think that's so important. So when I was hanging out with my cousins, we would see movies all the time. And there were two movies out that had similar titles, right? Let's just say I thought, and I didn't see the trailer to either of them, and I thought we were going into romantic comedy, maybe with like a Sandra Bullock style movie.
Okay.
And we get in and we open up, and the first scene is an abandoned, I think it's London, abandoned, and there's one guy that wakes up by himself in a hospital, and nobody else is there, and he's walking through the
28
city,
days
and
later?
everybody's completely 28 days later.
You thought
Sorry,
you were
I didn't
seeing
It
the
was
Sandra Bullock
so
movie.
freaking good.
Oh yeah, you thought you
And
were watching.
because I went in thinking bubbly romantic comedy, and I was and I had no 0% expectation, and that's how a movie should be experienced. With I had no idea what genre, what was gonna happen
Amen.
next, how it was gonna end. No spoilers. Who the actors? Every actor was brand new to me. The director, at least I thought was new to me, became one of my favorite directors later because he did like Slumdog Millionaire. Like he's so all over the place. But so I think that totally qualifies as like my favorite horror movie
Yeah,
for
that
sure.
movie's
But I had to have seen
horrifying.
it in that way. I had to see it under those circumstances.
That's an incredible way to think about it, though. What about you, Kevin? Do you have any scary movie that just like is super scares the living fucking pants out of you?
Oh, actually, when I was a kid, Communion scared the shit out of me.
Oh yeah,
That part where the alien who looks
hilarious now though.
the doorway, it's like little eyes. Like, no, thank you. That was it. It gave me nightmares.
He just, like,
actually,
peeks
no,
out.
I didn't sleep, so it didn't give me nightmares.
That I feel
Give me
you.
something
That's like my movie. It didn't have me sleep. What about you, Mike? Do you have any that just scared the living fucking pants out of you?
No, not really, but I have a really cool vampire pick.
Okay, tell us.
Movie. I mean, I love all the classics. Like I just recently, just the other day, watched a Poltergeist classic. I love it. I always yell at the paranormal investigators in the scenes because, like, obviously. But as far as vampire movies go, there's a Swedish film that came out in 2006, 2008. It's called Let the Right One In.
Hell yeah,
Have you seen this, Bobby?
of course. Yeah,
Holy shit!
yeah, that's a
If you-
great movie.
If you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
It's not even just like a good horror movie. It's just like a good movie. It's like you
Yes.
could watch it with your grandma and she'd be like, "This is a good movie."
You
Yeah,
want
so
to end
cool,
grandma's
Grandma.
life.
Yeah,
The pool scene is amazing. Wow.
yeah, I concur with Mike on that one. Since we're on the Alien show, though, I gotta say, can I answer your question now, Jamie?
Yeah, absolutely.
The one thing that still, like, I still have to like what do they call it? Like brace myself during one particular scene. It is a formative year staple that made me who I am today is Fire in the Sky.
That's
And
in the chat as
Really?
well right
I
now.
think
Yeah.
that I think that it still holds up. I still watch it every few years. It's like very well done. And that scene is the abduction scene is absolutely
The eye.
fucking horrifying. And still still I'm like, okay, here we go. I got to kind of like take deep breaths and like, I'm not going to turn my head away now, but man, that one destroyed
That's
my
funny.
brain when I was like 9.
What about you, Jess? You got any of them that are super scary?
Super scary. I don't know, like Saw, that stuff scares
Oh,
me.
yeah,
I hate Saw movies.
Oh God. But they got
I hate
like
that.
so gruesome that like
Yeah, that kind of stuff I
Mhm.
can't.
but the
do.
story was
I
so
can't
good.
do it.
Chainsaw
but, like,
Massacre.
Jesus.
Yeah,
Yes.
the Chainsaw
The whole
Massacre.
Like, where
concept
it's
of Saw is
just-
great. but-
yeah.
I think the Halloween, the new one, somebody asked if anybody's watched it, but that was
I
before I
did.
came live. I think I was watching it in the chat.
Oh,
Who-
did you watch it?
I've seen it.
Me too.
I thought it
loved
was really good. Did you like it?
Yeah, I loved it. I love Halloween in general, though. That's one of my
Yeah, the older ones,
traditions.
yeah,
I
are
watch
good
them
as
all.
well. Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I like
thought
the
it
new
was actually
ones.
pretty well done. The new one.
Were you
Me
like
too.
legit scared watching it?
Yeah, but
was
okay,
it
I
just
get
good?
scared
You know what I mean?
pretty easily.
Easy?
So
Okay,
I mean,
it was actually scary though.
There were a
like-
few parts where I was like, ah! But it's always the like
Yeah.
intense moment of like, is he gonna get him moment? You know, where I'm like, run.
Yeah,
The anxiety kicks in.
I was more freaked out for some other movies that I've seen, but because I mean, there's only so many things you can like, or so many times you can watch like him kind of chasing after the person to kill him, like same kind of story. But
Love him.
I still do get scared pretty easily for scary movies or just anything jumpy, like paranormal, scary, anything. When it's really gore, I get like sick to my stomach with the blood, but I still want to watch. It's like I don't know what it is.
Like an addiction. Yeah,
It
like
is like
yeah.
I'll be covering my eyes because like I'll start feeling like nauseous, but I still want to know what
Oh,
happens.
wow.
It's
You're like a closeted vampire.
I have.
be.
Maybe we have one in the chat.
Well, hey, shoot, guys, we have guests, so I have.
Okay,
to
you go,
leave. I can't
Jane.
stay for the
Oh,
whole
thank you for
time.
coming in,
Thank
Jane.
you.
It was so nice to see you.
Thank you so much for
Happy
coming.
Halloween,
Happy Halloween. Bye.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're so
Can I
Go
throw
ahead,
out
Joby.
one last kind of dark horse vampire movie that came out kind of
Yes.
recently?
Yeah, tell us.
It didn't get as much love as it deserves. This is probably like 2008, 2009, somewhere in there, called
Underworld?
Daybreakers.
I
Oh.
remember Daybreakers.
Ethan
Oh.
Hawke and Willem Dafoe and
Daybreakers
Sam
is
Neill. And the whole concept is the vast majority
Yeah,
of the planet
Dafoe.
is all vampires. And it's like this whole commentary on like consumerism and capitalism and stuff. And like, but the humans are the minority that are still like living underground and like hunting vampires and stuff. It is so good. And no one ever talks about that movie anymore. And it's wonderful. So Daybreakers, check that out.
That's a
Yeah,
good
it's a
one.
good movie.
Daybreakers.
Okay, I have a question for Amy. Amy, do you have a movie that scared the living shit out of you when you were either growing up or as of recently? What's your one that just scared the shit out of you?
Yeah, that would be Poltergeist.
Ooh,
The
okay,
movie.
okay.
That's a good one.
So the scene where the kids are in the bedroom and they're looking out at the tree, and then the tree starts to come alive.
Alive.
And the tree
Oh, God.
actually comes in and pulls the kids into whatever other dimension that weird ghost was pulling them into.
Mhm.
And then
Love it.
Carol Ann's on the other side talking through the TV.
The
TV people.
And then
Honestly-
the closets would light up, right? And like when they were in the house, like some closet would just light up. Yeah.
That did not
So-
age well. That movie.
Disagree.
Okay.
No, you
just hit
just
the
watched it
disagree
last
button.
night.
I love
Yeah, I watched
that
it literally
movie.
last night. I was like, this is great.
Wait,
Yeah.
which one?
All good.
Poltergeist.
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 Okay, Brie, and what about you, Miss Queen of Halloween over here? Because she really is. Like, what's your scary? Which one just scared the living shit out of you the first time you saw it? That was just like, nope.
Nothing other than The Fourth Kind.
Really?
That was the one and only movie that shook me.
Okay, I
I'm
like
gonna have
that.
to
I like
watch that tonight.
Like
I
over
literally,
now
like,
it
jump or
doesn't. I
anything
have
during
it.
Movies, even if you're not scared, like, do you get startled or anything? Or
I don't
No?
think she does. No,
oh my god,
no. But
Get
she watches a lot.
excited.
Yeah, she's a Scorpio. She watches a lot of horror movies. Bobby, I'm really
Yeah.
upset because I sent you that movie literally like 2 or 3 years ago now. Like, it's been a long time since I sent you that fucking movie, and the fact
I
that you
think
haven't
I
watched
may
it.
have. I think I threw. Is that the one with J.K. Simmons as the UFO guy? Is that the
No.
same movie?
No, it's like Mila, whatever her name is.
Yeah.
That's
Mila
Dark Sky.
Jokovic.
Dark
Yes.
Sky is what I'm thinking of. I've
Yeah.
seen that.
Mila
I haven't-
Jokovic, and
I'll
she's
watch
all
the- I
sexy.
will
That
watch-
movie was more like
I didn't
Yeah.
see one.
All right, I'll watch The Fourth Kind.
You should.
You might think it's lame now.
Yeah, now you might think
abduction
it's lame.
movies
Yeah.
are so like hit or miss. Like
That's the thing.
That one hit.
most
it was
of
very,
them
it's very
hit or
Blair.
miss,
It's very
but
Blair Witchy. If you okay, Blair Witch.
You're not selling.
Did
that's
that
a
not
selling
scare all
point.
of us? That didn't scare you, Brie? That scared me.
No.
Scared me.
Yeah, scared
I
me,
haven't
terrified
seen
me.
it.
All right.
Are you joking, Kevin?
No, I'm not joking.
Why have you not seen it?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I just haven't seen it. Sorry.
Okay, what about, did you guys watch also The
Oh.
Ring scared me? Did you guys watch
Yes,
The
The
Ring?
Ring was
Ring.
really good.
The Ring scared you?
Have you seen
What?
the original like
Samara?
Japanese one?
No, not the original
Yes,
Japanese
that
one.
one is
Oh,
scary.
that one's really good as well. Yeah, I've
I
seen
heard
both.
I heard that it
Same
is,
with The
but-
Grudge. Watch the Japanese.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Grudge.
I watched the
exactly,
Japanese
Yeah.
Grudge as well,
Yeah.
yeah. But The Ring, I was like maybe like, I don't know, I'd have been 11 or 12 at the time. And like, it was me and my brother, and he had this little bed that had like a little TV like right on the side of it. So we watched on this teeny little screen, me and him huddled together in the dark. So it was like very like we're close to the
Extra
screen. And,
scary.
yeah, the things like coming through. So that one did absolutely scared me. I probably slept in his room that night. Like it was, I watch it now and it's not a scary thing. But when it came out, I was like, that one shook me.
Mhm.
My like first scary movie that I saw that shook me was Scream. But I watched
Fucking
it when I
love
was
Scream too.
I know, but I was only like
Love them.
my sister was so much older, so I like snuck in and watched it with her. But I was only like 4 or something when it came out.
The
Like I
first
was really
Scream?
really young, so
4.
like 4 maybe 5, but I think I was 4, and so like it like traumatized me. I couldn't even look through like a window at night because you see your own reflection, not what's outside. Like I couldn't look through my own bedroom window for like years. Like that mask, like it just like it stuck with me for so long.
Is that from Scream 3 when there's the window scene in Scream 3? Because
No, it
that's
was
what it
just
reminds
because
me of when I see
like, my
big
sister
windows.
would tease me like and be like, oh, he's gonna
Oh.
come through your window and like whatever, just
I had a
Yeah.
I had a
Goodness.
shop teacher in like 6th grade that for whatever reason is like, you guys can have a movie day, and we chose to watch. Well, the class chose to watch Scream.
Oh my
So
god,
like a
Love it.
class
I
of
can't
middle
believe they
schoolers.
actually let you
The
guys
whole time I'm
too.
watching it, I'm just like, this is not appropriate
Right?
for middle school
not
kids. I'm
at
like, this is
all.
gonna
What
be.
is in there? Really,
and sure
that's
enough,
bad.
a few weeks later, we get a piece of mail from the school, and it was like an apology letter from the shop teacher. Like,
Someone
let your
I was
kid
gonna
watch
say, I'm just
Scream.
shocked in school that they would
I'm
actually
like, yeah,
say
well,
yes.
the trauma's already embedded in my psyche now, so thank you for that. Guy
Exactly.
with 9 fingers.
All right. Do you guys have any good cryptid movies we could watch? Like, I know Bobby has to have some, but is there any good like Bigfooty, Mothman-y, Dogman-y movies that are out there this Halloween that
You
everybody
know
could
what?
watch?
I got a good vampire one.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. We're
You
going
guys-
back to the
you guys-
vampires. Who is a cryptid? Go ahead.
You guys ever?
Who's not a
see
fucking
the,
cryptid?
Who is?
Oh yeah, okay. Never mind.
No. Say it, please.
Yeah, we settled that a long time ago. But
Yeah, Jamie, I won.
Oh,
Go ahead,
Underworld. I was just gonna say Underworld.
Underworld.
Yeah,
those are
Underworld. We
fun.
forgot
Great.
about that.
Really good. And there
And
are
there's so
cryptids in
many.
it because there's werewolves.
Yes.
Ah, yes,
Mhm.
there are.
2 for 1 on that one.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby.
That
Do you
was-
have any cryptidy
2 points for
Halloween
you.
scary movies?
okay, so here's the deal with Sasquatch movies.
Okay.
The vast majority of them are
Terrible.
trust me, I watch a lot of bad
Awful.
movies for
Terrible.
fun. Like my whole
Garbage.
hobby is like dig through garbage to find the gems. And if you want to throw Bigfoot into that mix, it's like double enticing. However, in my experience of trying out various Bigfoot themed movies, there are some diamonds in the rough, but the vast majority of them are not good. But there's the one that set it off. Like whenever you listen to someone that's into Bigfoot that probably grew up like in the late 60s, 70s, they always reference 2 things. One of them is the Leonard Nimoy episode of In Search Of, where they talk about Bigfoot. That's always like a fuse that's lit for those folks. The other one is a movie called Legend of Boggy Creek that it's almost shot like documentary style. There's some scary sequences in it. It did not age well, however, so I'm not going to necessarily like recommend it to everyone, but it's kind of a historical timepiece in the whole like Bigfoot pop culture thing. Legend of Boggy Creek is a good one. And then I think the best one I've seen is one called Exists, and it's very simple. The Bigfoot effects are super good. It's kind of, I think if I recall correctly, a woman is just
Yeah,
driving
thank you.
driving down the road, hits a Bigfoot. I might be making this up as I go along, but I remember liking it. And then is more or less like stalked by this Bigfoot, and it's just really well done. And then there's another one called Primal Rage that came out a few years ago, not the video game, but it's more or less a slasher with Bigfoots, and the Bigfoots have like little shields and bows and arrows and stuff. And there's like an old witch in the woods. It's very silly, but that's a really fun one as well. And then I just recommended a new one that I watched the other day called Dawn of the Beast. I think I recommended on the show.
Yeah, I liked it. I didn't think it
it's
was
like, I mean, again,
horrible.
like if you know what you're getting yourself into, you're not expecting, fucking Lawrence of Arabia or something. You're not expecting to be enthralled by the magic of cinema and just want something, kind of crappy and fun to watch. Like, give those a shot, I guess.
That one's a good one.
Feel
Tim
it.
in the chat said Heredity, and I totally agree. Heredity,
Yeah,
was a
Heredity's
really
scary.
good one.
Yeah, absolutely. Amy, I have a question for you. Do you have a favorite cryptid?
A cryptid movie?
No, just cryptid in general.
Oh. I guess like Bigfoot, right? Like a mermaid.
You're a
Mermaid
Bigfoot
be
what?
Cryptid? Mermaid.
What?
I know it's not very scary, but
Is a
isn't it
mermaid a
cryptid?
cryptid? That's an interesting question that you bring up on this. Is a vampire a cryptid
So
episode?
that's mermaid's my favorite cryptid.
Okay, I like that.
I'm more
Okay.
inclined to say yes to a
Yeah,
mermaid.
Hell
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
that's fair.
Okay. All right. What about you, Artemis? Do you have a favorite cryptid?
No.
Oh my
No.
god.
No,
Bobby-
but
Bobby's our
Josh
favorite
did give me another movie that was good. I don't think it was mentioned, The Mothman Prophecies.
Ooh,
That's a
yes,
good
a
one.
very good one. Yes.
So he said that was a good one.
Mike,
No, but
you're a
I'm
man in
getting
black. What do you
A
think
little
of
bit
Mothman
tired and I'm not
Prophecies?
feeling very well. So I
Okay,
think I'm
just
gonna-
go. Love you. Bye. Thank you
Thank
for
you for
hanging
coming.
out.
Thank you everybody for having me. Happy Halloween.
Thank you,
to
Artemis.
everybody.
Happy Halloween.
you.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, Jess, what about you? Do you have a favorite cryptid? Because I feel like you have to have one.
I do. I love the Fresno Nightcrawler. I love it. It's my favorite. I want to buy stickers.
No, I'm
When
gonna
people
say that.
make crap with the little Fresno Nightcrawler, I want to
You know
buy it.
what? You know what? I have a painting that I made of the Fresno Nightcrawlers, and DM me your goddamn address, and I will fucking send it to you.
I would love it. I would put it right behind me.
We recently did an episode about that one because Bree had brought it up, and then Bobby didn't know what it was. But I think when we've talked about it on Twitter a lot, I think it's a sexy cryptid too. Just
Spooky
pants.
pants.
The
Yeah, just
best
pants.
Spooky
cryptid.
pants.
It's all legs.
All legs. I like
Yes,
that.
exactly.
All right. What about you, Mike? What's your favorite cryptid?
Favorite cryptid? I know you're probably going to expect me to say the Jersey Devil, but
Jersey Devil. I was gonna say yeah.
I honestly I think my favorite cryptid is Bigfoot. I mean, that's the one I want to be real. That's the one I really want to like run into in the middle of the Pine Barrens one day. But yeah, I mean, honestly, if we want to talk about going back to Bree's description or her definition rather of a cryptid as an undiscovered animal.
Yeah.
Going back, I was in the military years and years ago. I was in the middle of the jungle in Panama, and I was tasked to go down this road and just like do a reconnaissance and like check for like fallen trees and like all this kind of stuff, right? And so I'm going down this road, and there's a tree down, and so we had to stop the Humvee and get out of the vehicle, and I kind of just walked around the area just to kind of make a little assessment. And I walk into this clearing. Now, keep in mind, I have an M16 and I have a 9mm sidearm. So I'm armed, right? So I'm not helpless. But I walk into this clearing, and I come face to face with something that I have not ever seen before. But it was a capybara. Now, if you've never,
they're so cute.
What?
they're adorable. But
Capybara.
if you've never seen one of those things and you've come face to face within 20 feet of them in the jungle, I'm telling you, I forgot I had a weapon in my hand. I was terrified. It's like a 300-pound rat staring me in the face.
Mm-hmm.
We both looked at each other for a couple of seconds, and we both just darted the other direction. And it wasn't until years later that I figured out what the hell it was that I ran into in the jungle. And like, until I figured out what it was, that to me was a cryptid because it was not anything I'd ever seen before. I had no idea what it was.
It's a furry little like deer pig.
The giant
It was-
hamster.
So cute.
It was, yes, a 200-pound hamster.
Yeah, giant hamster. That's a good
It
way to
is.
put it.
That's a good way to put it. Okay, what about you, Kevin? Do you have a favorite cryptid? You're always with me on cryptid Twitter.
Oh my gosh, I
feel
like
like
the
a giant
Fresno one.
hamster.
The Fresno Nightcrawler, man. Nice
Oh,
talking.
Nightcrawlers.
Nightcrawler.
That was a
yeah.
big hit.
The Fresno
Fresno
Nightcrawlers
Nightcrawler.
are a sexy little thing. I like them. That was a nice one.
Mm.
I try to put little cryptid things on Twitter sometimes. I did like the Frogman. We did the Nijin, which is the water version of the Nightcrawler, which is interesting. It's the Chinese version. Yeah. So it can be just pants, but it was also had big arms, but no head. No, the head was
Boots
not.
and pants.
Boots and pants.
I'm gonna put a little
Exactly.
like bow
Oh, I
tie
have
on
to
them,
look
make
that
them
up.
extra sexy.
They are extra sexy. Okay. All right. Question. Would Bigfoot be the sexiest cryptid, everybody? Is that what we're gonna, I think, is that
Hands
a
down.
poll? Hands down?
Hands-
Yeah. I
hands
think not
down.
even a question.
Oh yeah.
Not a question.
There's no other cryptid genre that I know of that there's literal like pornography about.
They're
Fetish-
genuine.
fetishization
They're
of-
genuinely. If you
Unless
type
we're
in
counting
Bigfoot, yeah.
vampires as cryptids, you know.
I
And
did
you know what?
not-
There's a lot of fan fiction about vampires.
Of course.
And what about
Twilight.
dragons?
So it's a fetish thing.
Who
Why
said
not?
dragons? Who said dragons? Because this is an
Dragons.
interesting thing. Because I asked them, I said, "Can we do an episode about dragons?" They were like, "Dragons are cryptids." Are
Did we say
unidentified
that, Bobby?
So are reptilians cryptids?
Yeah, I thought. Oh, good question, Amy. Are they?
No,
If
because
a
those do
werewolf
exist and
is.
everyone knows it.
Oh yeah, everyone knows those are real, Amy.
That's
God.
just
That's still, you
consensus at
still need
this
to
point.
classify them. you
I mean,
know?
they do-
My neighbor's
real.
a
They,
reptilian.
they need to be
I just classify them as
Wait, and they are energy
You turn on
vampires.
CNN
People-
and see a few of those. every
not
day.
all, not all
No,
reptilians.
But a lot of people say that reptilians drain off of negative energy, right? So you have
Right.
that vampire aspect.
Draco.
Also,
Mhm.
Draco,
Draco.
reptilians.
And then you also
we
have
can't be
the whole
grouping them all together.
reptilians and adrenochrome are very crossed, right? So like
Draco.
You just got kicked off YouTube with that shit.
probably in all honesty. We have an episode that we have about adrenochrome that has literally one of the most downloads we have, and I'm terrified to put it on YouTube because I'm like, oh shit, this one's gonna get us kicked off YouTube, guys.
Especially, I worked so hard on that cover art with
I
Hillary.
know it's so good. It's
have you
Hillary
guys
holding
seen
your
that?
The blood
child.
of children,
Hillary,
like,
but like with like boobs, and I like made her
This is
have
the Alien
reptiles-
podcast.
reptile skin, and she's like holding this baby or
And
this
she's
like
eating it,
child.
yeah.
She's
Oh my god,
eating
can
it.
you share that with me, please?
Yeah, 100%.
Love
So
it.
back in the day before
Oh,
we
hell.
like understood technology and shit, we used to make like little clip arts for all of our videos, and all of them Brie was
Take
very detailed on.
Fucking forever.
And she would do these things like she would give scales to fucking Hillary Clinton and impose her face on some lady's body and put a dying child in her arms. Like this
That's
is what
exactly what I did.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see.
You know.
They're
We'll,
doing
we'll,
our
put, we'll
feed.
post it up. We'll post it up for you guys. It might. No, I can put it on Twitter. Twitter will like it. They'll. Although I might
Yes,
attract some weird people
everything's
on
on there.
Twitter if I do that.
Gonna get
I'm
some
not gonna lie to you.
followers.
I'll get some weird fucking followers off of that one, in all honesty. All right, guys. What do we have? I know Bobby had some questions for Mike. They were talking about.
Do
you
I?
have-
I think
yeah.
I already did. I think
You
I
already
already
asked
asked.
him?
I think
You
I was
already
just
asked him?
kind of like flirting with him on Twitter, to be honest.
I think you were, in all honesty. You guys have like a little crush on each other. I like it. A little podcast crush.
No, yeah, I was just curious about his adventures in ghost hunting, and he kind of laid it out at the beginning of the show.
Do you have
what
any
was I gonna
upcoming
say?
ones,
Oh,
Mike?
can I just mention-
yeah, go.
I was gonna say, aside from Bigfoot, obviously, which is my favorite cryptid, we will do an episode eventually on the Pukwudgie, which is probably my second favorite.
That's in
And
our
if
logo.
if you're not familiar, it's like a little trickster goblin thing that lives in New England
Mhm.
and like summons people closer, and it's like there's all this Native American lore that kind of points to it as well, and there's very little information on it, and there's a very few like TV documentaries or anything, but the ones that you find are just like it's so good. So good.
So
Chef's
Because you have
kiss.
like this loud like man from Rhode Island just screaming about how he was like seduced into the woods by a tiny goblin creature, and it's just like the best shit. It's so good.
It's like, were you on mushrooms?
No, yeah, exactly. I don't know, but that guy's awesome. I want to be that guy. I want to be a loud New Englander that's summoned in the woods by tiny goblins.
So Pukwudgie is next, or no?
No, I don't know.
We don't have.
Eventually, we'll get to it.
I don't know if we've discussed doing a next cryptid. Oh, look at there's her picture.
There you go. That's the one.
I really liked mine too.
I
don't
love
know what
it.
to do with
I love it. I'm gonna send it.
That's really cool.
I'm gonna put it up behind me.
Sometimes we do this thing on Bobby's Cryptid Corner. Bree started it where we draw the cryptids that we're talking about sometimes. So we've been
That's cool.
doing our little drawing. So I'll send you that one. That one's been on my wall for a while.
Should we go around and cryptid, no cryptid vampires with everyone?
Absolutely, 100%. We should factor sci-fi. That's something that we always do. We have a scale. It's from 0 to 10. And you can either factor sci-fi it. Sci-fi is on the 0 side. Fact is on the 10 side. I will go first as tradition, as I always do, because I'm a bully. I am going to. I'm going to 100% 10 fact, 10 out of 10 that vampires are cryptids, because I'm the one who called this meeting, and I truly believe that vampires
Just pride
are
at this
cryptids.
point.
Yeah, and at this point, I'm going to go with it to my
Good,
grave.
double down.
Yeah, exactly. I'm doubling down. I'm all in on it. I think that they should be considered a cryptid. They are undead. A zombie is very similar,
Which is
very
not
animal.
a cryptid.
Listen, humans are animals. We are primates. I don't know what to tell
Thank
you.
you.
They're cryptids, so that's where I stand.
I'm so disappointed in you.
Good.
I'm gonna -10 this.
Oh, damn.
Oh wow.
Mm.
So far, we're at an average of 0.
Okay. And then what about you, Bobby? What do you got?
Okay, so here I always have a long-winded answer
That's
to
my
these
favorite.
questions. So if we
He has to work through it.
I know he
okay,
does.
so yeah, I do. That's why this is like therapy for me of like weird shit that I can't talk to normal people about.
Literally, when I put in the description of the
Normal.
episode, it is
Everyone's
therapy.
like, what are you talking about? Like, we're at a party. We're skeeving out everyone. So I don't believe that they are cryptids because I
Thank
accept them subjectively as real things. And then throw on top of that they're just like humanoid and they're not an animal, seemingly.
Mhm.
I mean, we
Where's
could talk
the
about the
hair?
semantics of human beings being animals or not, or either way. So I believe that they are real, at least historically, and I do not believe they are cryptids, because if I believe that they're real, whether or not the consensus is that they're not, for me personally, that's what this is about,
You just lost me.
they're not cryptids.
Okay, so what are you giving it on the scale?
I tried really hard to follow.
What's
the
your
train of
number?
thought.
Not cryptids, 0.
0.
Real,
Okay.
real, 10 fact.
10. Okay, Kevin, what about you?
Wait, hold on.
Well-
You just created your own thing here. We didn't
He
vote
did.
on that.
He did, but he always does every time as do you.
I like to
so-
party.
Yeah. All right,
When it
Kevin,
was
what do
Bobby,
you?
No,
like
like
party.
the question was cryptid or not cryptid, and then I
cryptid or
threw
not
on real or not real.
And he was like,
Just-
well, vampires are a real thing, so that their own category. Vampires are real, but they're not a cryptid 0.
I went to the goth bar last night. There are some real vampires.
That is so cool.
I would love to do that. Okay, Kevin.
They
what
really
do you,
like
Oh
are you-
my god.
Skinny puppy and typo negative.
All right,
Ooh.
Kevin, I want to know what
I'm
you
a boomer.
I love latex.
Thanks, Mike.
Think. Kevin, tell me.
Well, I'm with you. I think they're cryptids. They fall under the animal category.
Yeah,
Humans are
absolute
animals
fuck.
according to that definition. They would
They're
be
people.
people are animals.
People are animals. Okay, on a scale from 1 to 10, what do you give it?
10?
Okay, I love it. That's a whole vibe. I'm with it. Okay, what about you, Mike?
Hmm.
Think smart, Mike. Think smart.
Fuck you, Bree. Fuck you, Bobby.
I'm on Team Bree.
I'm on Team Kevin.
Yeah.
Team Scorpio. That's why.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm an amateur in the cryptid realm, and so maybe I'm tripping. I'm hearing dogs in my head right now.
No, I heard it too.
Oh, okay, good.
That's my dog. That's my dog.
I love it. I love it.
I thought it was
but-
Jamie's
Man.
dog because it looked like you were like kicking something, Jamie. So I'm
I
like,
was
damn,
vibing.
she's over there like kicking the dog.
Stepped on your dog.
I would.
This meeting got real dark.
Right? I am deaf.
You gotta take it there, you know.
But I think I generally accept cryptids as being animals that are either paranormal in nature or undiscovered in nature.
Jamie, your face is killing
So-
me.
so I'm going to say not cryptid, but I live in New Jersey and so I know that vampires are real because I think 3 or 4 of my neighbors are vampires.
Yeah.
Mm.
Go to Trenton, it's like, oh yeah, totally.
On a scale from
You
1
fucking
to
sunlight.
on a scale from 1 to 10, Mike. On a scale from 1 to
What are
10?
they yelling?
What are you giving it? 1 to 10?
10.
10?
Wait,
a 0
so you
for
fact
sci-fi.
it?
A 0 for sci-fi, right?
Oh,
Yeah, 0. A 0. Okay, okay.
Correct.
All right, Jess. So right now we're at a 0 because it balanced back out to the 0 side. So what do you got for me?
I give it a 0. I think that vampires aren't cryptids.
mhm.
I know, I'm so sorry. It's just I've been thinking
heartbreaking.
about this since last
Never
night.
apologize.
I'm proud. I'm
Yeah.
so proud.
But I also have to go now, guys. I want to thank you
Okay,
guys so much
love
for
you,
having
Jess.
me. We'll talk soon. I gotta
Bye.
say
Bye,
goodnight.
Jess. Thank you
Bye.
for
Love
you,
coming.
Jess.
Happy
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
I'm
Okay.
so glad we got her vote before she left.
I know, me too. Okay, Amy.
I had to
now-
wait
Thank
for
you.
I know. Love you. Okay,
ya.
Amy, my angel.
Amy, it's all coming
you.
down to
I got
you.
Coming down
notes.
to you.
I have
Hold
notes.
on, hold on a
yes.
second. Hold on a
Notes.
second.
Wait.
What do we got so far? Who's the tiebreaker right now? Is it Amy?
Actually, no, I think
No.
we're winning, Bobby.
Well, you
We
guys
got
are-
3
you guys
are-
against. We
Wait,
got
so Amy-
4
Amy
against
could
2.
Amy could turn. No, wait.
It's
No,
wrong.
4
Because
against 2. We're
Jess
fucked. Yeah, we're
agreed.
fucked.
All
We're
right.
fucked.
Well,
Jess agreed.
Let's just hear the
Mike
argument.
agrees. Bobby agrees.
Okay.
All right.
Queen of the
1 to 10
Cosmos
if a
agrees.
vampire is a cryptid, right? I'm going to say a 6 for many different reasons. We have not even touched on the fact that vampires turn into bats.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Exactly.
They are.
Bobby briefly
animals
mentioned
in some
it.
way.
But
No,
sorry.
but that's a
Wait,
bats
no,
are
paranormal
not
thing.
cryptids.
Ah.
But it's
Sorry.
half
I
bat.
I see what you're saying.
It's a
Shapeshifty.
shapeshifter, though.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
But Bigfoot is born Bigfoot, right? Like Bigfoot isn't born a human. He doesn't transform into Bigfoot, right? Like that's
Yeah.
who he
As
is,
far as
just
we
like
know.
a mermaid
Yeah.
is who
He's
a
not
mermaid
trans.
is.
Yeah.
He's
Doesn't
Yes, I would
identify
say-
as
I would
fish,
say
yeah.
a 6. I think a vampire could very well in
He's
some ways
cryptid
be
fluid.
a cryptid, but I don't know.
Wait, so
But-
Amy, a 6 is like a middle bitch, I think.
Yeah, that's a middle bitch right there.
I
That's a
kind of
classic
am.
middle
Like, I was
bitch.
like,
No, 5.
eh.
I
No,
guess
but that's
Yeah,
like
I count as
leaning.
middle bitch.
Yeah, like 4 to
Middle
6
bitch
is the middle
leaning.
bitch. Yeah, leaning.
I'm definitely down in the middle with it for sure. I don't know which it is. But that was that's the one things I wanted to say. I thought of like 2 really cool movies, a cryptic movie, right?
Okay,
Which
okay.
was Teen Werewolf.
Ah.
I love that movie. And since we're talking about like vampire movies,
cute.
I'm totally gonna go watch Once Bitten with Jim Carrey. Like I love that movie. I forgot about that vampire movie.
Good movie.
I've
But
seen
other
that.
than that, Jamie
movie.
Bree, thanks for letting me come and you guys. It's been so
Obviously,
cool
Amy,
to meet you
love
all and
you.
chit chat. Yes, I
Yeah,
love
we
you
love you,
guys all.
Amy.
And you guys have a happy Halloween.
You
and I'll
too.
obviously see you guys on Twitter
Enjoy.
in the live chats. And shout out to all of my friends in the live chat.
Yes,
Happy
and
Halloween
everyone
to
go
you guys
subscribe
if
to
I don't say that
Amy.
enough to you.
And congratulations
come
on your
over.
1,000 subscribers,
Oh
ma'am.
my gosh! I
Congrats,
can't even
girl, that's
believe. Yeah,
awesome.
it's so
Right.
much
Yeah.
fun. So we have a little party. It's just like this every Sunday night, weekly. Yeah.
Yes. All right, Amy, we love you and have a
Alright.
happy Halloween, babe.
Yeah,
Thank you,
thanks. Bye, guys.
Amy.
Bye.
Bye. Oh man, we're getting down to the end. People have been hanging in
dropping.
for a long
And
time.
then there
It's
were
been-
5.
And then there were 5.
All right, now it's time to talk about the real shit.
All right, I was gonna say, I was like, Bobby, give me some weird shit that's been on your brain this week that you need to get out.
I don't. Oh man, you can't just. I'm not a monkey that can just dance on command.
That's literally your
That's
job.
Thank you for that.
That's what we're here. That's what we're all here for. It's not just you; it's me as well, and Bree, and all of us.
Because we live streamed it, I made it a point to stay like pretty sober,
Why?
especially like
What the
verbally.
hell?
I
You said you
know.
were going to drink brandy.
Yeah, what the hell? You
I
lied to
didn't-
us.
I'm drinking Yingling instead, but
What the hell is that?
What? Yingling?
you guys are
Is that-
so West Coast. Jesus Christ.
We really are.
Kevin, where are you
I'm in-
from?
I'm in Bay Area,
California.
California. Thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody said that I watched Tucker Carlson.
Where in California?
And I'm
I
gonna
don't
have
have
to say
wheatgrass
no,
here,
I do
guys.
not.
We only have
What?
Yingling and Lone Star.
Where do
Somebody in
you
the-
live, like around? Like, what's your neighborhood areas? You don't have to say
I
like what
would
city.
say Sacktown area.
Cool.
Oh, not too far from Bree.
The ghetto.
That's not true.
Yeah.
It takes like almost 3 hours.
That's
Okay.
in relativity of things. It's not that far from you.
If I could teleport, nothing
It's
would
not
be
like
far.
Yeah.
it's not like he's in another state. Jesus Christ. Okay, I just want to say somebody in the chat, Bobby Broadway, says that Jamie watches Tucker Carlson, and no, I do not.
What?
He said Bigfoot likes Tucker Carlson, and that's why Brie hates him.
Oh, and Jamie watches Tucker Carlson. I don't.
That's
I was
why
gonna
love
say,
him.
I was gonna say, who
Yes, I
knows
do.
how much I hate
Don't watch
Tucker
TV.
Carlson.
I was like, I don't watch TV in general. In all
Yeah,
honesty,
I don't really watch
Yeah, I don't watch TV.
corporate news.
I watch people's podcasts and people's lives on YouTube.
Yeah.
I hate them all of them.
All right,
Same.
Mike, can you tell everyone where they can find all
Burn
of your
it down,
podcast
Bobby. Burn
information
it
at?
down.
Because if you're into paranormal shit and you guys want to listen to some spooky shit tonight or tomorrow about some ghost hunting shit and some other weird shit that Mike's been, I want you to tell everyone where they can find you.
Okay, yeah, cool. Thank you. So my podcast is The Bunker, and you can find that on it is anchor.fm/The Bunker, but it's also on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, the other one I always forget about.
Stitcher, Spotify.
Spotify, thank you. It's on Spotify and a bunch of other ones. It's on like 10 different platforms. So yeah.
Friendster, MySpace.
All right, and
Bring
Kevin,
back MySpace.
Kevin runs an account on Twitter called Greer's Flair, and he makes beautiful memes. And why don't you tell everyone about what the hell you like to do on Twitter, Kevin?
I just like hanging out, making memes, making graphics for people. I just like to make people laugh, really. That's what I like doing. So
Mission
That's
accomplished.
actually very beautiful.
Are you the
I
Loki
think that's cool.
avatar guy?
yeah,
Is that
that's
you?
me.
Okay,
That's
cool.
me.
Got it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people hate on Kevin and they're like, oh, he's a fucking fake account and fuck what he says and
Yeah.
he's an asshole. And like, honestly, he's just having fun. Like, people hate on him or a lot of the other troll accounts. Like, they're just trying to
Yeah.
bring some humor into fucking weird UFO Twitter. People need to chill the fuck out about that shit.
That's it.
Agreed.
Preach, girl. Did you
all
guys
Twitter,
like Loki?
People need to chill the fuck out about.
Yes.
I watched Loki with you, Brie.
Oh, that was funny.
Did you like it?
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
show.
I have Disney Plus now.
Bobby, did
so-
you watch it?
No, I'm kind of over the Marvel stuff.
Oh, that's a vibe.
I don't
hate
dislike it. I'm
Marvel.
just taking
sorry.
a breather because it's been 20
Oh
fucking
no,
years.
it's too much.
Okay, so in
Yeah.
spirit of more spooky season stuff, Bobby, can you please tell us about your podcast and your horror stuff where people
Yeah,
can find
not-
spooky, scary stories?
Not for everyone podcast. It's not strictly horror movies, but a lot of it is. It's just weird cult movies that me and my buddy like to talk about. But it's really just us
Sack Town.
exploring our friendship through the lens of these types of things that are relatable. It's more of me and him just like literally it's built on us like talking smack to each other the whole time.
Mhm.
And every Halloween we do interviews of spooky story people. And the new episode will drop tomorrow on 1980s Prom Night, starring Jamie Lee
Oh,
Curtis,
Jamie Lee Curtis.
which is one of
Miss
the
Stan
OG
Jamie. That's who I'm named
slashers.
after.
Babe.
You can watch that movie and say, this is just a cut and dry paint by numbers slasher that we've seen a million times before. But what I say to that is this was from 1980. So it's one of the first to do all those tropes and cliches that you want to, disparage about that movie. I love it. There's a great disco dance scene in that movie that's like, we got to fill runtime. So they put like a disco montage in it for
Hell
like
yes.
20 minutes for some reason in this very bleak, like not humorous or jovial movie at all. They're like, here's some disco. I'm like, hell yeah. So yeah, that's coming out tomorrow. Not for Everyone podcast. We're on like everywhere.
Pretty
very
much.
very vulgar and politically incorrect and
Hilarious.
so trigger warning to anyone that
All right.
is
It's not for
sensitive
everyone, but it's
to
for me.
jokes that might offend people. Anyway.
Yes.
I love it.
What's your other podcast?
Bobby's Cryptid Corner.
It's fucking right, Bobby.
With whom?
Thank you guys for like I feel like,
Tatiwaba.
like you guys do literally all the work with this. I just like show up. You're like, all right. I'm like, okay.
Tatiwaba.
What?
Listen, we're figuring it out.
Tatiwaba.
We're figuring it out as we go. It's a whole vibe. We love
I wanna
having you,
build-
Bobby.
I want to build a network with you guys and Mike as well. I don't know if I'll ever have time to do that, but I want to build just fringe topic network for weirdos like us, podcast network.
We
Sounds
do.
like the
Absolutely.
I
Fringe
will
network.
get a Wix account tonight and start building that
Start
as
building
soon
it.
as
Give it a good
Soon
name.
as
We have a
Halloween is over.
website. We could
I was
just
like, we have a
morph it.
website. We could
We
just
have a
yeah.
website.
We have a Wix website. Thank you. We just
We have
just
a
change some
.com.
things.
I don't want to just piggyback
Yeah, speaking of
off
that,
of your coattails.
You should. That one time I was abducted by aliens.com. Bobby, you're part of our family. You're under our wing. You're in with us. You're tight. You're one. I
You're
want to thank
tight.
everybody in the chat for coming out tonight to our Halloween party. We love you guys so much. Does anyone else want to say anything before we go on to the rest of our spooky night and end this live?
I do.
Okay, tell me.
It's been something really important.
Oh God,
And
here
it's
we go.
like
Oh,
the biggest
no.
fact.
Oh, no.
Vampires are for sure not cryptids.
I knew it.
Usually I end episodes by saying Mountain View, go fuck yourself. But today I'm going to end the episode
Hold
by
up.
saying Bree, go fuck yourself.
Can I suggest something?
Absolutely, Bobby. It's
I
your
would
show.
love that, Jamie. Thank
And
you.
anyone
That sounds like
listening-
a blessing.
Anyone listening can join in. I think that we should all go outside at the same time tonight and do a little meditation, maybe with some crystals, and try to CE5 remotely as a union.
I have crystals on my head.
Okay, so what time, Bobby, should we all sit down? Give us a good
Well,
like,
Shit's
I'm Central
heavy.
Time, so you guys get darker later.
Later.
Than me.
yeah. So I'd say maybe
So-
maybe let's say 9:00
time?
Pacific Standard Time is like it's a nice and dark over here.
So
So
that
whatever
would be
time that
10
is
o'clock
across-
Mountain Time.
10:00
Mountain
Eastern. It would be 3 hours later.
Well,
So 9, 10,
Central
12,
would be 11.
11.
And Mike,
if
you
you-
got to stay up till midnight.
Yeah, and everyone.
Mike can go stay.
Everyone CE5 with us tonight, and let's bring your crystals that you got outside.
Yes, the witching hour indeed.
Get your crystals and go
Halloween's
out.
technically my 10-year anniversary with my husband.
Is it really?
Mhm.
Oh my
That's
god!
when we went from
happy
we're just talking to
anniversary.
we're not talking at a Halloween parties when I made that
love that.
happen.
I love it. Well, congratulations,
We
happy
sanctified our union.
Kevin.
You know what I'm
Anything?
saying?
Anything you want to say to the masses before we go?
Ha ha ha. That's it.
It's all five. I love that so much. All right, Mike. What about you?
He is
Anything-
on Twitter.
Anything you got?
What?
Anything you got, Mike?
You
to say?
are a favorite.
That's awesome.
I want to party with Kevin.
I do, yeah.
I agree.
100%.
His name's Kevin and he likes to party.
100%.
All right, guys. We love
Yeah.
you all. Good night. Oh wait, do you have anything to say, Mike? Tell me.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. All right, guys. We love you
Oh, that
all.
was
Good night.
Sexy.
Thank
was
you all
fun.
for gathering here to settle the score that
Yes.
vampires aren't cryptids.
They
It's
are
been a
cryptids.
pleasure.
And we'll
They're
see you guys
not,
next
and
time
I
on our next
won.
live. Fuck off,
We
Bree.
won. We don't
Fuck
have to
you,
keep doing this,
Bree.
Jamie.
We
I
do.
won, and it's
Goodbye.
It's what it is.
Bye.
I'm not
All
saying
right.
goodbye.
We're off.
Ta ta.